thing ever, because don't you dare act like you're not a part of this. Kermit the Frog, if you saw him, Kermit the Frog, we have all agreed, don't pretend like you're not a part of this, we have all agreed that that is just a real guy. If you saw Kermit the Frog, like, walking down the street, you would not think, oh, that guy has a Kermit puppet. You'd think, oh my gosh, Kermit the Frog is here. And I just think that's amazing. Like, what else is like that? Like, when you see, like, a video of, like, Kermit the Frog playing with Tyler Childers or Willie Nelson, you don't think, like, oh, that's so cute, they're doing a little kids thing. You think, oh my gosh, it's so cool that Kermit's blessing them with their presents. Right? Am I insane? Please don't tell me if you don't feel that way. But I swear to God, it's just incredible to me. It's the same with, like, Twitter. Like, when you see, like, a brand, and this makes me so angry, when, like, a brand is tweeting like it's a real person, makes me want to add people like, oh, it's 3 social media interns in a trench coat. Which, side note, by the way, it's not an intern. At this point, in the year of our Lord 2025, no intern is running a social media. They have a team of people, professionals. But yeah, it's not like, oh, look at these interns, they're so funny, LOL. It's like when you saw, like, Elmo tweeting about that whole, like, Rocco drama, you're not thinking, like, LOL, the interns are so funny. You're thinking, I can't believe Elmo has beef with a rock. You know? Like, that's amazing. So I've been sick the past weekend, and I spent a lot of that weekend, since I couldn't go anywhere, just watching Muppet things, because I couldn't stop thinking about the Muppets. So I watched the movie from 2011, which is great. Songs didn't slap.
Life's a happy song when there's someone by my side to sing along.
I watched the original movie. Songs slap even harder in that. Oh my god, can you picture that? It's such a good song. The rhyme scheme in that song.
Can you bet you that?
I watched that. I watched the ABC TV show, which was good. Kind of like a little bit racy for like a show with the Muppets. But I guess the Muppets have always been like a little bit more mature than like Sesame Street. But then I also watched a bunch of interviews and stuff. And like, if you watch an interview from like the 1970s, the talk show host is kind of like, haha, like I'm talking to a puppet.
Sit there. That's what frogs do. Everybody knows that.
I'm sitting here talking to a dumb frog.
Thanks a lot.
I'm sorry. I'm awfully sorry about that.
But like now, like they just go up there completely by themselves. And it's like you're not thinking about the fact that there's a person puppeteering them. Because like it's just like, yo, Kermit's there. Miss Piggy is there right now.
Exciting to have you here together. Thank you for honoring your commitment to be here together. I think it takes a lot of guts.
Yeah, this isn't awkward at all. Not one bit.
I just think it's incredible. I think acting this way, the way that we've all decided to treat Kermit, is so special and really like heartwarming in a lot of ways. He has a TED Talk. Kermit the Frog has a TED Talk about how engaging in this like this thing we've all decided is a thing, engaging in that is an inherently creative act. Like the act of seeing a talking frog and saying, yes, I will accept that this is a real person, like this frog is real, that is inherently creative. And I think not enough people engage in simple like whimsy on a day-to-day basis. I think a lot of my peers are, not to be harsh, kind of boring sometimes. And I just think that there's just this like hesitancy to do anything ever. Like, I'm getting off topic, but I read this article on Substack recently, and I'll probably link it below, about how everyone's hobbies these days is just texting, watching TV, hanging out in their bed. And it's like, we gotta like go out and do stuff. And I realize I'm being hypocritical because all I did this past weekend was watch TV, but also I was like horribly ill, so it feels fair. Getting back to Kermit though, one of the amazing things I think about it is that everyone kind of has a different relationship with him. The first time that I fell in love with Kermit, because I love him, was this video.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. Cookie Monster isn't the letter of the alphabet.
It's like a classic. If you haven't watched it, you should. And what I love about it is that I love it because I think it's so cute, And because as a kid, I thought it was like the funniest thing. I was like, like my mom loves it because that little girl looks a lot like how her big sister did when she was a kid. So like we all love things for different reasons, and I think that's so cool. And because Kermit has lasted for such a long time, like we're able to think all of these things. He's like a person and a god and a ghost, and at the same time like a rock and roll legend. What other like silly voiced person can you think of like that? Like everyone listens to the Elton John version of Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King, you know, like that was the radio hit. Not like the character version. But with Kermit, it's like the character is the whole thing. I don't like covers of Rainbow Connection. I like the one with Hayley Williams because she's my favorite musician in the world. But other than that, like I don't seek out covers. I want to hear him do it. On that note, I do want to say I can't do the Kermit the Frog voice. I will not be forced to. I like tried to learn a little bit. Like I tried to like impersonate it after listening to it a lot this past weekend, and I just could not come up with it. Yeah. I think the voice is a big part of it too. If you listen to the one interview from the 70s, because Jim Henson is puppeteering him at the same time, you can hear his voice is basically Jim Henson's voice with a little more like Kerminess.
Now we got sort of an unusual lineup of characters. We've got the homicidal maniac and the San Francisco earthquake. We've got Mount Rushmore and the 7 deadly sins.
And yeah, I just think it's incredible. I think it's amazing that it's not just like whimsical adults or little kids who believe in him. It's everybody. Like I was talking to my dad about him. My dad is like a very sweet man, but not very like, he's a very logical person. And even still, I was saying like, but you would be so happy to see Kermit. And he's like, yeah, like I wouldn't see the puppeteer at all, which I think is an incredible testament to Kermit's power and also like the talent of those puppeteers, because I don't want this to seem like I don't care about them. I do, because I think that they're part of the magic, obviously. I think another thing that's interesting about it is that we're all convinced the Muppets are real. The Muppets are not convinced they're real. If you watch that TED Talk I was talking about, it's constant that Kermit insists he's not a real guy.
You're all sitting here listening to me, a talking amphibian. That alone is a rather radical act of creativity. It's what I like to call a conspiracy of craziness.
And in their movies, they're always pretty meta about things. Like in the 2011 movie, they travel by map because it's faster than driving. Like they're very meta a lot of times because they're a theater troupe more than just like a, they're not like actual people in some of their movies. A lot of their movies are them acting. I love Kermit. In fact, this past weekend, let me get it. So like I said, I was sick and I couldn't really do much. But I don't like spending all of my time just consuming media. I think it ends up making me feel very like exhausted and my eyes start hurting, my head starts feeling all weird and I don't think enough thoughts. So as part of this, I decided I would try something new. And I made a Kermit puppet out of paper. He looks a little whack. It was the pattern I used, I got from a YouTube video. It was really cool. Next time I wanna, cause I don't have like any materials. All I have are scissors. I don't have like a scoring thing or exact measurements. So this was all like kind of me guessing. But like, that's Kermit. Like you say that's Kermit. That's the thing about Kermit. It doesn't even have to be a good Kermit to be a Kermit. Like here, I can draw Kermit right now. And I am not an artist, but I can draw Kermit and you'll be like, yeah, that's basically him. Well, handy dandy notebook right here is what I've been taking notes in while I've been thinking about this. Like, let me just draw a Kermit right now. Like, this little side profile Kermit. I could also do it from the front though if I have the eye here. Yeah, it's basically him. That's so amazing. I think that's peak character design, especially for a kid's show. And as I get older, and as media becomes more and more AI generated and more easy to make, I think kids media is the one in the most trouble because people don't care about it. People should care about it. When I watch Sesame Street episodes, I'm like, man, this feels good on my brain. It feels like I'm like washing my brain out. You know when you go to like get a haircut and they like wash your hair and they like massage your scalp and it feels really good. That's what watching Sesame Street feels like. watching like Cocomelon or something does not make me feel that way. And I'm not saying that there's not good kids media that comes out, because there is. All my like little cousins watch like pretty good stuff, so I don't have to see like the really bad stuff all the time. But still, I think Jim Henson and what he did was so amazing, and it shows because all of us are still stoked on Kermit like 50 years later. Not even 50 years. Like Kermit was, I think he was first a thing in like 1955 or something like that. Like, and like that impact is still being felt today. I mean, when I posted this on my Instagram story after I made it, and people were going crazy for it. I had like multiple people who I'm acquaintances with like reply my story and be like, "Hey, can we please be friends?" And I was like, "Yes." Like if you're down to clown with this guy, then like clearly we should be. Yeah, it's been a bad week. If I'm being transparent, I've had a bad week, and thinking about some wholesome stuff is very nice. Friends can be temporary. Family can be temporary. Places can be temporary. But Kermit is forever. I hope. Oh my gosh. I'm scared that like something's gonna happen because they're owned by Disney. Disney ain't doing so hot. But they better not mess up Kermit. Some people would argue that they have. I saw that a little bit when I was doing research. I got like recommended videos that were like the downfall of the Muppets and stuff, and I didn't watch them because I don't want to know. Like if something bad happened, I don't want to know. I'm only going off of what I know. All I know is that video with Elmo and Andrew Garfield makes me cry when I see it, and the video with Elmo on Chicken Shop Date is adorable. Elmo's part of this too. I'm only using Kermit because I like him a little bit better, but Elmo has a similar vibe. He's like the Kermit of Sesame Street.
Yeah, Rocco's just right in front of you, Elmo. Yeah, that's so brilliant.
Are you kidding? Who brought Rocco?
Yeah, I just love it. And that's about it. Those are my thoughts. This is gonna be a better week. It's looking up. Things are looking up. My Monday was terrible, but I'm going home this weekend. I might do a little vlog about that. But yeah, I'm going home this weekend, which I'm really excited to do because I miss my mom a lot, and I miss my dad, and I miss my dog, and I miss my bed. And yeah, I had a job interview today, so I might be able to check one of my New Year's resolutions off. Things are looking up. Y'all don't even know about the bad stuff, but the bad stuff is done now. We're good. So, I will see you later.